Again and again, Jago, he sang Sarvam, all, Cha and Pitra by their father Brahma, Uktam spoken, Suswaram in sweet voice, Samakirtayat, he recounted. Shri Parikshit said, arriving in Shivaloka from a distance, the sage Narada sought Lord Shiva,
Matik,
Sri
your voice is breaking.
Hari,
I don't know if it's for me or
who
for everybody.
had just finished his worship of. Somebody else can read.
Was it for everybody or her voice is breaking actually? Someone else can say, Radhakishori Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Was her voice breaking or is it me?
Yeah, maybe last 10 seconds was breaking.
Okay. Okay, I'll just continue. Shri Parikshit said,
Hare Krishna.
arriving
No,
in
तो Prabhuji हम पढ़
Shivaloka.
लेंगे. नहीं, Jyoti
Prabhuji, should I
Mataji?
read?
No, no problem. I can read, no problem. Shri
Prabhuji,
Parikshit
you'll get
said,
tired, no? You'll be explaining also.
no, no, no problem, no problem. I mean, it's okay. Shri Parikshit said, arriving in Shivaloka from a distance, the sage Narada saw Lord Shiva, Sri Hara, who had just finished his worship of Lord Sankarshana, Sri Hari. Entranced in ecstatic love, Lord Shiva was dancing and loudly singing the glories of his Lord, while his associates played instrumental music and shouted, Jaya Jaya. With great affection, he praised his assistants like Nandishwara as well as the please move up, goddess Uma, who was expertly clapping her hands. The sight of all this delighted Narada. Vibrating his veena and nodding his head to show respect, he called out several times, You are the greatest recipient of Krishna's mercy. And in a sweet voice, he recounted to Lord Shiva everything just told him by their father, Lord Brahma. Commentary. Lord Shiva had just finished worshipping his deity, Lord Shankarshana. The rituals of his worship were similar to those Narada had witnessed on earth at Prayag. But at the end of the worship, Lord Shiva displayed the symptoms of ecstasy described in this verse. Worship of the Supreme Lord's deity attracts both neophytes and advanced souls. But Vaishnavas who are fully self-realized enjoy intimate relationships with their worshipable deity. For such Vaishnavas, the Lord's acceptance of even the simplest act of devotion brings profound devotional ecstasies. Thus, Narada found Lord Shiva in a trance of Sankirtan, reciting prayers to Lord Sankarshan, similar to those recorded in the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 5:17-18. Bhaje bhajanyarana padapankajam bhagasya kritsnasya paramparayanam bhaktashva alam bhavita bhuta bhavanam bhavapaham tva bhava bhavam ishwaram. O my Lord, you are the only worshipable person, for you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all opulences. Your secure lotus feet are the only source of protection for all your devotees, whom you satisfy by manifesting yourself in various forms. O my Lord, you deliver your devotees from the clutches of material existence. Non-devotees, however, remain entangled in material existence by your will. Kindly accept me as your eternal servant. Since Lord Shiva is an incarnation of the personality of Godhead, and Lord Shiva and the personality of Godhead are therefore non-different, Lord Shiva does not need to worship Lord Shankarshan to become purified from material illusion. Lord Shiva performs worship externally with standard paraphernalia to educate the world about the transcendental tastes of devotional service. Brahma is also considered an incarnation of Godhead, But Shiva and Brahma are not equal in status. Lord Shiva is non different from Vishnu in a more literal sense. The post of Brahma is almost always occupied by a Jiva, whereas no Jiva can ever become Shiva Tattva. Many statements from revealed scriptures characterize Lord Shiva as non different from Lord Vishnu. For example, in the Padma Purana, Brahmanda Khanda 25.15, in the description of the 10 offenses against Lord Vishnu's holy names, we read Shivasya Shri Vishnoryahiha Guna Namadi Sakalam Diya Bhinnam Pashyet Sakalu Ari Namahitakaraha. One who sees differences between any of Lord Shiva's qualities and names and those of Sri Vishnu is an antagonist to Harinama. There are no similar injunctions about the non-difference of Brahma and Vishnu. Authorized scriptures state that persons like Vashishta, who are certainly finite jivas, will become Lord Brahma in their own universes in future lives. Theoretically, any jiva soul can attain the post of Brahma, as Lord Shiva told the Prachetas. Swadharma Nishtha Shatajanma Dibhi Puman Virinchatam Eti Tataha Param Hi Mam. A person who strictly executes his occupational duty without deviation for 100 births becomes qualified to occupy the post of Brahma. And if he becomes more qualified, he can approach me, Lord Shiva. Bhagavatam 4:24-29. These words state that a jiva can Lord Shiva, state that a jiva can join Lord Shiva, not that he can become Shiva. Narada has included Lord Shiva in his search for the recipients of the Supreme Lord's mercy because Lord Shiva is a special incarnation of the Lord in the form of his own devotee. The followers of Lord Shiva, whom Narada saw on Shiva Loka, were all great Vaishnavas who deeply imbibed their master's mood of Vishnu Bhakti. Lord Shiva praised them for their artistic accompaniment, especially his consort Parvati for her hand clapping, because their performance was manifested directly from pure devotion. Witnessing all this, Narada also became ecstatic. He danced so enthusiastically that he was unable to offer prostrate obeisances, and since he did not want to stop playing his veena, he showed respect simply by nodding his head. Then, wanting to say something to show approval of Lord Shiva's behavior, he proceeded to recount what Brahma had told him about Lord Shiva's glories. Texts 5 and 6. अतः श्रीरुद्रपादाब्ज रेणुस्पर्शनकाम्यया समीपे भ्यागतं देवो वैष्णवैकप्रियो मुनिम् आर्क्ष्याश्लिष्य श्रीकृष्णरसधारया वृषं पप्रच्छ किं ब्रूषे ब्रह्मपुत्रेति सादरम्. Can you go to translation directly? Narada came closer, hoping to touch the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, the best friend of the Vaishnavas. But as the sage came near Lord Shiva, a flood of Krishna conscious pleasure, driving him wild, forcibly drew Narada closer and embraced him. But as the sage came near Lord Shiva, a flood of Krishna conscious pleasure, driving him wild, forcibly drew Narada closer and embraced him. Okay. Is he talking about Lord Shiva or Lord? Okay, anyway. Without hesitating, he asked Narada with respect, "Dear son of Brahma, what are you saying?" Commentary. Totally absorbed in ecstasy, Lord Shiva, when turning to greet Narada, at first found what Narada was telling him difficult to understand. Text 7 and 8. ततः श्री वैष्णव श्रेष्ठ संभाषण रसाप्लुतम Santyakta Nritya Kutakam Mitapriya Janavritam Parvati Prananatham Tam Vrishyam Virasanena Saha Asinam Pranamam Bhaktya Patan Rudra Shad Angakam. Please give me a minute. I just need to answer the door. Please give me a minute. Translation. Absorbed in the taste of talking with that superlative Vaishnava Narada, Lord Shiva then stopped his playful dancing and sat down. He sat on a straw mat in the Virasana posture, and few of his gentle companions seated themselves around him. With devotion, Narada bowed down to Lord Shiva, the life and soul of Parvati, and chanted the six-syllable Rudra mantra. Commentary. One who's observing a serious vow should sit on a kusha mat called vrishi, assuming the meditative hero's posture, which expresses one's firm determination. This asana is defined in the yoga asanas. The Rudra Shad Angaka is a mantra of the Vedas. It begins with the words Namaste. Okay, I just want to just make a brief point here. Uh, uh, it speaks about should this asana for sitting with a serious vow, sit down on a kusha mat. This asana is defined in the yoga shastras, right? So I have a friend who lives in Sri Vrindavan Dham, who uh, who during Kartik, what he does is he sits on an asana. Basically, it's not some kind of a simple kusha mat, and he chants from morning to night the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So 1 month he does this vow, and he what do you call it? He, I don't know if he cooks or what he does, but then eats once a day or something like that. But he told me that at the end of 1 month, you will feel so much happiness just absorbed in the holy names. And he said during that 1 month, he does not answer phone calls. Just from morning to night, just chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Okay, it's a very strong vow. It may not be possible for all of us to do it because we may have various services. It's not that any of the services are less important. But however, when one has the opportunity, one has the time, then one can try something like this. I'm not saying for 1 month, but even for 1 day, that would be quite an achievement. Like I remember there is a couple in Bangalore whose son is studying in Canada. And so his mother told me that he calls her every day, but 1 day of the week, the students, I mean, his friends and they observe what is called, I forget the name, but then they don't use mobile phone for one whole day, you know. And so she said he doesn't call me 1 day of the week where he doesn't touch the mobile phone, you know. So there are people even in the material world who do different things. He's not a practicing devotee though. He's just, I mean, he's just a university student. So I'm just saying that even there are people in this material world who do certain things. And certainly, uh, mobile phones have become the lifeline of all devotees is almost as good as breathing. So it would be good if we could also attempt something like this not without affecting our seva, without affecting our without affecting our seva. It does not have to be one whole day. Even one half a day would make a big difference. If you could just sit down and just try to attentively chant the holy names of the Lord. Okay. A few other things which I wanted to speak about was that we see how devotional service by its nature is very ecstatic. Uh, so the more we try to attentively chant the holy names, the more we try to absorption, then it produces a certain kind of ecstasy which is overwhelming, and that's not accessible only to 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 someone situated in the level of prema. I still remember that when was that? I think it was 94 or 95, probably. So that's about 31 years ago. There is one day when I just chanted 16 rounds, entire 16 rounds without, with great effort, of course, and try to focus. But that still remains the best day of my chanting. So we can see that even someone may be a neophyte, but if we put that effort into attentively hearing the names of the Lord, it produces a great amount of ecstasy. And that's easily available to each of us. Every day here, this moment it's available. So 31 years ago or 30 years ago, I could see that. I could experience that. So what I'm trying to say is that the process of devotional service is actually ecstatically performed. But because we don't perform it with attentiveness, we don't perform it with absorption, we don't get that sense of ecstasy. Of course, even if we do it, it's not that the ecstasy that we experience will be the same as that experienced by someone in the level of bhava or prema. That's like unlimited ecstasy. But here also, for our state also, we can experience overwhelming ecstasy if we attentively chant the holy names and if we absorb ourselves in the process of Krishna consciousness. Any thoughts, questions, comments so far? Okay, so let's go ahead to text 9.
Hare
Jyoti.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, I think there are two. First, I
Okay,
think
Jyoti
Jyoti.
Mataji
Yeah.
has a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. I wanted to share this. I was hearing to one devotee's experience realization regarding chanting, and he told he would actually chant like full 16 rounds. He will not open his eyes like for the full 16 rounds. Like he will just close his eyes, and after his 16 rounds, uh, he will open his eyes. And he has fixed time. Like in that time, that is fixed. Like for 16 rounds, he will take that time every day, and if 1 minute also goes up and down, he will feel like okay, his chanting is not proper. So one day I tried it. I just for one day only I tried. I didn't open my eyes for the whole 16 rounds. I think I opened once in between, and I felt it was very nice.
Thank you. I don't know if I can chant 16 rounds without opening my eyes. That's too difficult for me. But yes, sitting at one shot and trying to finish it, that is possible for everyone. That's possible for everyone. And it produces a certain kind of absorption in Krishna consciousness, for sure. Thank you for sharing it. Have you tried it after that, or was it too difficult?
Once I tried, and that day it was very nice. And like after that I didn't try that, but actually that posture only for me is little difficult in one posture, so I'm practicing first posture, then I will practice that.
Not necessary, as long as you're able to chant, whether it is, I think as long as you're, because ultimately it's a question of hearing. If you can, any posture, if you can just hear attentively. Even closing the eyes is not necessary that you have to close the eyes, but the idea is to hear. That's very important. To not lose that sense of hearing attentively. The rest are details.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry. Okay. Anandita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you have answered this question because sitting on the floor for consecutively for 2 hours is very difficult nowadays for me at least. So now we can, you are saying that focus should be on hearing, whatever posture or we are sitting on the table or chair or wherever
Yeah.
you want to say. But
Yeah.
in between, at least if we try once a week or especially on Ekadashi, let's begin with the 16 rounds. But for nature's call, we have to wake up. When somebody rings a bell, you have to wake up like that.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's
So,
all that, I mean, yes, I didn't put that. I mean, but sometimes it's possible to get some slots in the day or whatever
mhm.
where you don't have any disturbance. You can just sit at one shot and finish everything in finish your 16 rounds. Yeah. But if it's unavoidable, you have to, somebody comes and knocks on the door. Obviously, you have to go and open. Yeah.
Yeah, but for once in a week and or maybe on Ekadashi we can try. My
Yes.
Didi she has taken a vow that she will not check WhatsApp or phone on the Ekadashi days.
Who? Who?
My Didi, other Didi, not the one she came with me.
Okay.
So she did that, but she could not follow it because the children were shouting on her. So she had to answer the calls, maybe on some other time, but not the full day. But yeah, it's a very good lesson. I will also try at least for 16 rounds for once a week or fortnightly. Thank you for sharing.
Okay. So we'll go ahead with the next verse. Jagad Ishatva Mahatmya Prakashana Paraistvai Astho Vivritya Tasminscha Jagau Krishna Kripabaram. Narada then recited prayers glorifying Lord Shiva as the supreme controller of the universe and elaborately proclaimed the fullness of the mercy bestowed upon Shiva by Lord Krishna. Karnau Pidhaya Rudrosau Sakrodam Avadadbrisham Sarva Vaishnava Murdhanyo Vishnu Bhakti Pravartakaha. Lord Rudra, the best of Vaishnavas, the initiator of devotional service to Vishnu, at once covered his ears and angrily replied. Commentary. Vaishnavanam Maheshwaraha, of all Vaishnavas, Lord Maheshwara is the greatest. He is the greatest Vaishnava because he initiates the teaching of pure devotional service. He founded the Rudra Sampradaya, one of the 4 authentic Vaishnava schools. He is more famous as a Vaishnava than as an incarnation of Vishnu. Sri Rudra Uvacha, text 11. Na jatu jagadishoham napi Krishna kripaspadam param taddasa dasanam sadanugraha kamukaha. Sri Rudra said, I am not the Lord of the universe, nor an object of Krishna's mercy. I am just a poor soul, always hankering for the favor of the servants of his servants. Commentary. I can only hanker for the mercy of Krishna's servants because I am not fortunate enough to have it. Text 12. Shri Parikshit Uvacha Sambhranto Thamunir Hitva Krishnei Kyena Tatstutim Saparadham Ivatmanam Manyamano Bravichanai. Sri Parikshit said, upon hearing this, the sage Narada was shocked. Thinking he had acted offensively, he at once stopped praising Lord Shiva's non-difference from Krishna and began to speak in a soft voice. Srinarada Uvacha Satyameva Bhavan Vishnor Vaishnavanam Cha Durgamam Nigudham Mahima Shrenim Vitti Vigyapayati Api. Sri Narada said, "You certainly know the confidential, mysterious glories of Lord Vishnu and the Vaishnavas, and you expertly explain those glories." Commentary. Although the greatness of the Lord and his devotees is a fathomless mystery, Lord Shiva and other empowered Vaishnava acharyas are able to help ordinary conditioned souls understand it. Narada hopes Lord Shiva will accept praise at least on this account. Text 14. Ato hi Vaishnava Shreshtair ishyate tvad anugraha Krishnascha mahimanam te prito vitanute dikham. Translation. The best Vaishnavas therefore aspire for your mercy. Lord Krishna has also great regard for you and extensively spreads your glories. Commentary. Krishna spreads the fame of Lord Shiva, sometimes through representatives and sometimes himself. Text 15. Kati Varamscha Krishnena Varavividamurtibihi Bhaktya Bhavantam Aradhya Grihitaha Katishantina Katisantina. Has Krishna not worshipped you many times in his various incarnations and taken from you many boons? Commentary. Those who want to see examples of Lord Shiva's bestowing a boon upon Krishna can read the Dhana Dharma section and other parts of the Vamana Purana, which describe how Sri Krishna received the Sudarshana Chakra and how Samba became his son. Text 16. Shri Parikshid Uvacha Iti Shrutva Tu Sahasa Dhairyam Kartum Ashaknuvan Lajjito Drutam Utthaya Naradasya Mukham Haraha Karabhyam Pidade Darshtyam Mamatanna Vaderiti. Sri Parikshit said, hearing this, Lord Shiva could no longer maintain his gravity. Ashamed, he sprang to his feet, covered Narada's mouth with both hands and said, "Don't even mention that arrogance of mine." Commentary. Lord Shiva felt embarrassed to be reminded that he had offered benedictions to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 17. Anantaram uvachoche sa visamyam aho mune durvitak durvitarkya taram leela vaibhavam drisyatam prabho. He then boldly told Narada with surprise in his voice, "Just see the most incomprehensible power of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord." Commentary. Putting aside his embarrassment, Lord Shiva pointed out to Narada the wonderful uniqueness of the pastimes the Supreme Lord enacts with his devotees, in which the Lord takes upon himself many severe vows and penances just to win the devotees' blessings. That's a very interesting point. What Lord Shiva points out is that uh, putting aside his embarrassment, Lord Shiva pointed out to Narada the wonderful uniqueness of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Pastimes the Supreme Lord enacts with his devotees, in which the Lord takes upon himself many severe vows and penances just to win the devotees' blessings. Devotees take up a lot of vows and penances just to win the Lord's blessings. Similarly, the Lord also takes up severe vows and penances just to win the devotees' blessings. So this is a very interesting point which Sanatan Goswami makes. Any thoughts on that? Or should we continue?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'm just too
Yes.
inquisitive to know about the entire Leela, as to like we just read that Lord Shiva by what was that, the Sudarshan Chakra, that
I don't know about that, Leela. I'll have to find out.
all right, okay.
Yeah, but one thing is that I've heard somewhere, but I don't recollect it. I have heard it once before, but I don't recollect it. If anyone recollects, they can say it. One thing is that when Lord Ramachandra goes to find Mother Sita, or goes to restore Mother Sita, or defeat Ravana, then when he reaches the shores of Rameshwaram, he offers prayers to Lord Shiva and gets a benediction from Lord Shiva for recovering Mother Sita. That's one
Yes,
particular instance. Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Anyone knows about that Sudarshan Chakra story? If you know, I heard it somewhere. One speaker spoke about it some time back. I mean, long back. I don't recollect now. Okay, let's go to text 18. Aho vichitra
Hare Krishna
gambhir.
Prabhuji, you must be tired. If you want, I can read now.
Okay, I'll let you know. Let me just go on for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
अहो विचित्र गंभीर महिमाद्भीर म, अहो विचित्र गंभीर महिमाद्भीर्मदीश्वरः विविधेषु अपराधेषु नोपे नोपेक्षेत कृतेष्व अपि. Oh, my Lord is so sober. He is such a deep and varied ocean of great qualities. Even though I have committed so many kinds of offenses against him, he still does not reject me. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Sorry. Oh, my Lord is so sober. He is such a deep and varied ocean of great qualities. Even though I have committed many kinds of offenses against him, he still does not reject me. Commentary. The ocean is too deep for one to measure. What to speak of diving into it and reaching its bottom? The ocean cannot be moved from its fixed place, and the opposite shore is far beyond anyone's vision. Similarly, the Supreme Lord's qualities are countless. They include every possible kind of greatness, and each of his qualities is unrestricted and boundless. Lord Shiva considered himself offensive to have shown off his own power before Lord Krishna by offering him benedictions. Other offenses he had committed against the Lord were too painful for him to recall. But Sri Krishna never considers anything done by Lord Shiva offensive, since Lord Shiva always acts in this world only to promote the cause of Krishna's devotional service, either directly or indirectly. Text 19. Okay, so I think for the next 10 minutes, one of you can read. Jyoti, have your hand up?
Should I read?
You want to read? Okay.
Shri Parikshit Uvacha परम आनंदितो धृत्वा पादयोर उपदेशयतं नारदा परितुस्तव कृष्ण भक्तिरसाप्लुतम्. Should I read the word to word?
No, just read the translation.
Okay. Shri Parikshit said, seeing Lord Shiva completely absorbed in the transcendental taste of pure devotion for Krishna, Narada, pleased beyond limit, grasped Lord Shiva's feet, made him sit down again, and spoke to appease him. Text 20. Shri Narada Uvacha Naparandhava Avakashaste Preyasah Kaschid Achyute Kadachilloka Drishtyapi Jato Nashmin Pradakshate.
No, it's not Pradakshate. It is
Sorry,
Prakashate.
Prakashate. Sri Narada said, you are so dear to Lord Achyuta. Is it possible you could ever offend him? Though people sometimes see what they think are your offenses, he never sees them at all. Text 21-22. Swabahu bala driptasya sadhu padrava karinah maya baddha aniruddhasya युध्यामानस्य चक्रिणः हता प्रायस्य बाणस्य निज भक्तस्य पुत्रवत् पालित अस्य त्वया प्राण रक्षार्थं श्री हरि स्तुता. Bana was a cause of trouble for saintly persons. Too proud of the strength of his arms, he used magic to arrest Aniruddha and fight against Krishna. The wielder of the Mataji, can you please just shift it little left? The wielder of the disc. When you saw that Bana, your devotee, whom you had maintained like a son, was on the verge of being killed, to save his life, you offered prayers to Sri Hari. Text 23. Mataji, can you little down?
You have to scroll, Suchisimita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes,
You have to
it is on
scroll.
23rd verse. Is not visible?
No, it's not scroll. It is not visible.
I am in the middle of the screen. Do I log out and try again?
Some connection issue, I think.
Okay. I'll just try. I'll just log out and try
You
again.
should know. You stop sharing and start sharing again. No.
Yes, yes. That's, I guess, will. Is it visible now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
but text 23 is on the screen. Okay.
Yes, yes, will.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, yeah. Now it can hear. Yeah.
Okay.
Now we can see. Now we can see. Okay.
सद्यो हित्वा रुसं प्रीतो दत्वा निज स्वरूपताम् पार्षदातां निन्ये तं दुरापां सुरेरपि. At once, Lord Krishna put aside his anger. Now pleased, the Lord gave Bana a form like his own and raised him to being one of your associates, a position rarely obtained even by demigods. Commentary. In the fight against Banasura, Lord Krishna had already lifted his Sudarshana disc to kill Bana, his son's enemy. But at that moment, Lord Shiva interceded. Despite Bana's long list of offenses against Vishnu and the Vaishnavas, Bana had the one credit of being Lord Shiva's sincere devotee. This impressed Lord Krishna so much that he gave Bana a four-armed form of his own. Shri Krishna then told Lord Shiva, Chatvaro, Chatvaro asya bhuja sishta bhavishyati ajara पार्षदा मुख्यो भवतो न कुतश्चित् भयो असुरः. This demon, who still has four arms, will be immune to old age and death, and he will serve as one of your principal attendants. Thus, he will have nothing to fear on any account. Bhagavatam 10.63.49. Text 24.
So after reading this, we should not think that uh, what is it? No matter what offenses we commit, no matter what we do, we just shall take shelter of Lord Shiva. That's not the understanding here. Uh, the point here is that it's a glorification of Lord Shiva. How dear Lord Shiva is to Krishna, that despite whatever uh, someone may have done to offend the Lord or his devotees, but because they have sincerely worshipped Lord Shiva, therefore he is lenient towards them. That's the understanding. This is not a solution for committing offenses. Okay, sure. Please go ahead.
Text 24. भवांश्च वैष्णवद्रोही गर्ग्यादिभ्या सुदुश्चरे तपोभिर्भजामानेभ्यो नाव्यालिखं वरं ददे. When such enemies of the Vaishnavas as Gargya worshipped you by severe penances, the benedictions you gave them were not without loopholes. Commentary. Because Gargya and others were inimical to the Yadavas and Pandavas, who were all staunch Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva rewarded their worship with imperfect boons. According to the Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad 2.1, Gargya Balaki was a learned son of the sage Garga, who was too proud of his acquired knowledge. By Lord Shiva's blessing, Gargya obtained a son, but not one who could destroy the Yadu dynasty, as Gargya had wanted only one who could frighten and frustrate the Yadus. Similarly, Jayadratha received the limited boon that he could only once defeat each of the Pandavas, except Arjuna. Sudakshina was allowed to destroy any enemy of his choice who was not a proper follower of Brahminical culture, but this power ultimately turned against him. The full stories of these hapless devotees of Lord Shiva are recorded in Sri Hari Vamsha, Vishnu Purana, and Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 25. Chitraketu prabhrat, prabhratayo अद्यो अपि अंशाश्रिता हरे निन्दका यदि अपि स्वस्या तेभ्यो अकुप्यास्तथापि न. Although Chitraketu and others like him foolishly dared criticize you, you never became angry at them because they were surrendered devotees of plenary portions of Lord Hari. Commentary. It is foolish for anyone to criticize Lord Shiva. When Chitraketu committed this mistake, he was not yet a pure Vaishnava. Otherwise, he would not have exercised his discrimination so wrongly. But Chitraketu, even as a neophyte, had a connection with Lord Sesha, an expansion of Sri Krishna's first expansion, Balrama. So, Lord Shiva was not offended by Chitraketu's laughing when Lord Shiva sat with Parvati on his lap in the presence of a group of sages. Text 26. Krishnasya pritaye tasmak Shreshtyam api
No, it's not
abhivanchat
Shreshtyam, it's Shrishtyam. Shrishtyam.
Shreshtyam.
Shrishtyam.
Shreshtyam.
Yeah.
Shreshtyam api abhivanchata tad bhaktateva chaturya vishesh vishesh inarthita tvaya.
Visheshanartitha tvaya. Visheshanartitha tvaya.
Visheshanarthita tvaya. Once, just to please Lord Krishna, you expressed a desire to become even greater than he. But then you are very cleverly modified your request, asking him instead to make you his devotee. Commentary. This, in Lord Shiva's opinion, was a particularly egregious offense based on the desire to be worshipped. He confesses in the Brihat Sahasra Nama Stotra, Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda 71.102. Alabdva Chatmanah Pujam Samyag Aradhito Hari Maya Tasmad Api Shreshtyam Vanchatah Han Kritatmana. When I did not receive the worship I wanted, I served Lord Hari thoroughly in devotional service, but with the egotistic motives of becoming even greater than he. In this way, Lord Shiva berates himself, but the truth is that even then he acted only for Krishna's pleasure. He thought that Krishna would be displeased by a direct request that Lord Shiva become his servant. Since Krishna is self-effacing by nature, he does not like exalted persons like Shiva to act subordinate to him. So Lord Shiva instead submitted what seemed the opposite request. Krishna has declared his servant greater than himself. Mad Bhakta Puja Vyadhika. More important than worshipping me is worshipping my devotee. Bhagavatam 11.19.21. Therefore, Lord Shiva cleverly asked for that greater position. Lord Shiva had also once overheard Krishna while playing dice with his queen Rukmini declare his devotee even more glorious than himself in order to allure the dice into acting as his devotees by serving him nicely.
Okay, I think we can stop there. Any questions, comments so far? Brihad Bhagavatam is a very beautiful text. The way Sanatana Goswami has composed it is both his text and his commentary. We come to know about so many details.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you please explain this last verse that we just read? The mood that is being expressed here?
Basically, Lord Shiva uh, uh, tricked Lord Krishna, you could say, within the word, within quotes, tricked, because uh, Lord Krishna considered people like Lord Shiva to be exalted. So if Lord Shiva is to pray, please make me your devotee, he would not. I mean, he would find that very odd, So what he did was that he said, okay, let me become greater than you. And anyway, Lord Krishna thinks his devotees are greater than him. So using that opportunity, he became Krishna's servant. That is the idea. Is that okay? Or do you still need further clarification?
Yes. Yeah, I think guess I get it. So I was just wondering, the first place that we read about Lord
I mean, first
Shiva.
of all, we cannot do all these things. Huh? We cannot do all these things. That's very important. We cannot tell
Yes, yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
I mean, what is the person? What is the stature of someone like Lord Shiva? He is a Mahajana. Plus, he's not even. He is a Purusha. He's not even a Prakriti like us. He's Purusha.
Yes,
So,
that is what I was getting to actually. That it is like we just read in the beginning where we started reading, is that Lord Shiva is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. I guess, I think if we could just correct me, and that is the impression I got on reading when we started from verse 9.
yeah. Yeah, that's. I mean, like, he's,
So,
see, among everybody else is Prakriti, but Vishnu Tattva and Lord Shiva are Purushas. No, it's not Prakriti actually.
is the
But
Purusha of this material world?
Purusha means a male. Lord
Yeah.
Shiva is male, actually. Everybody else is female, no, including us.
No, so Prabhuji, I just wanted this clarification. So we understand that Lord Shiva is the Purusha of this material world, and Lord Krishna is the Purusha of the spiritual and the material world. Is that the right way of understanding?
One sense, yes, but also there is Sadashiva, which is an expansion of the Lord. Yeah, I mean, you could say
Uh,
yes, but this in the spiritual world there's Sadashiva, but also this Shiva, I mean, while as good as Krishna, is also different in the sense that milk transformed to curd, there is a difference. Yeah, it's not the same. The curd cannot retransform into milk.
the
You
milk.
understood, right? So there is some categorical difference also. Not even though they are Purushas, but there is a categorical difference in that Purusha, where 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 yeah, okay. I mean, where the Purusha Shiva accepts himself as a servant of
Of Lord
servant of
Krishna.
Vishnu. Yeah.
Yes.
Purusha
Right.
does not mean one who has a male form. Huh? Purusha means the enjoyer.
Hmm.
And for example, even
Okay.
Jiva can have a male form in the spiritual world. It does not mean that they are Purushas. The
Yes,
male form
Prabhuji.
is not the form is not the definition of a Purusha. The
Mm-hmm.
Purusha means the enjoyer, like that. But Lord Shiva is a little distinct because, yeah, he is Purusha, but at the same time, he's a servant. It's like, yeah, it's
Okay.
it's it's very difficult to understand Shiva.
All right, Prabhuji. All right, thank you. Prabhuji, I have a question, a little personal question. After everybody's asked, I will ask you.
Sure.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, in our this Brihad Bhagavatamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam and Anvati, in these scriptures, like we read all these scriptures, even in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Shiva's actual position is described. Like he is the topmost Vaishnava and he is Purusha. There is a very thin line difference between the both, and curd and milk and all. But in the Shiv Puran and those who are the devotees or followers of Lord Shiva, they do not find these evidences in those scriptures. So they don't believe all these things. I mean, they are not following Krishna consciousness, but when we just make them once or twice, one of I when I try to explain to one of few of my friends they did not take it up. They said, "Oh, he is not a Vaishnava. He is a he is the Lord of the universe." So they don't find these evidences. They don't believe in the first go. Maybe when they would be following, then they would follow. They would understand the reality.
Yeah, just like when you meet people, there are people who are educated from the university, there are people who are uneducated. So you don't take what uneducated people take very seriously, right? So, I mean, so like that. They may say whatever they want to say, but we don't take that seriously because
Yeah.
it requires education to understand who's who, what is what. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Yeah.
So acharyas are the ones who educate. You can't just pick up a scripture and understand it. You need education.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Thank you, Rashi.
Hare Krishna. Suchimita Mata, you can go ahead. I don't think there are other questions. Go ahead.
So, Prabhuji, there is this, you're aware of this, that there is this Kirtan Fest going on to Rishikesh from, I think, Feb mid to March mid, something like that.
Yes.
So, I was just wondering if we could plan, our servant leaders here. And so, if we get a booking in MVT, uh,
Oh, actually, I'm not involved with MVT anymore since the last.
anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I remember you last time you asked me, like if you ever go, then just check on me, check with me. So I thought just prompt you, like do this. No, no problem, Prabhuji. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. I just thought I'll just check with you.
Sure. Okay.
Right. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Then
Hari Bol.
please accept my humble obeisance.
Hari Bol. Any other questions? Okay, so we'll resume again next. We'll resume again next Thursday. Next Thursday. Next Thursday is what, 22nd, right? Yeah, 22nd. Yeah, fine. 23rd I will not be able to take. Yeah, 22nd I'll be able to take. Yeah, sure. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च परितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेम।
Thank you so much,
Thank
Ruji.
you, Hare
हरे
Krishna.
कृष्ण।